the opposite. Mishnah Daled. וכן עיר שיש בה דבר או מפולת. And let's take another example. A city that there is in it, if dever means like a kind of sickness, COVID comes to the city, or mapolet, or an earthquake. Yeah? שבתיה נופלים מחמת רעידת אדמה. That the houses are falling because of earthquake. אותה העיר מתנה ומתרעת. That city that has the COVID or has the earthquake, they both fast and blow the shofars. וכל סביבותיה מתנות ולא מתריעות. And all the cities surrounded, they fast, but they don't blow the shofar. כמו ביום הכיפורים. Just like in Yom Kippur, exactly the opposite of the previous Mishnah. שמתענים בו ואין מתריעים. That you fast, but you don't matrim. In other words, the question is it like Rosh Hashanah or like Yom Kippur? So over here they say, what? And when? Yom Kippur we do. Yeah, but the blowing of the shofar is not the Rosh Hashanah blowing of the shofar. It's probably for a different reason. Rabbi Akiva Omer, it's not part of the service, let's put it this way. It's in the end. Just to say. Rabbi Akiva Omer, matriot b'shofar. Rabbi Akiva says the opposite, like just like before. They blow the shofars, velo mitanot, כמו בראש השנה. But they don't fast just like in Rosh Hashanah. Ezu dever. Now, the question is, when do you know that you need to fast for a disease? What's the criteria? 2 guys die in a city? That's enough. 20 guys die, 100 guys die, 5,000 guys die. How much? How much do you know to be considered to be a magefa, a disease, like a COVID plague, let's call it, a plague. Ezu dever, what's a plague? עיר המוציאה 500 רגלי. So this is the percentages. כלומר, שיש בה 500 גברים, we're talking about when you have 500 men in the city. Now, we don't count women and children. We don't count them at all. Why? Because women and children are problematic to count. If a woman or a child dies, you cannot attribute it necessarily to the plague. Children are weak. They can die almost of anything. And women can die of childbirth. They have women problems. So also, you cannot attribute it for the plague. Men, you can say, men you can count in the survey. Because if they die, it's most probably the plague. With the women, you never know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. With the children, you never know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Men, you know for sure. Maybe the child was weak and he died of cold. I don't know. But a man, if it's a severe plague, he's not going to die from regular cold. He's stronger. That's the idea behind it. So you're counting 500 men, חוץ מנשים וקטנים, the זקנים, and you don't count the elderly, you don't count the children, you don't count the women. ויצאו ממנה 3 מתים ב3 ימים זה אחר זה. So it's about a little bit less than 1%. So 3 dead people in 3 consecutive days die from that sickness. 3 out of 500. So if you've got, let's say, 500,000, so it's 3,000 people need to die in that day. In 3 days, consecutive days. If 3,000, let's say Tucson approximately has 500,000 men, right? Approximately, right? There's more than 1 million in all the surrounding area. So let's say 500,000, give or take. It might be a little bit more, but so if 300,000 men die in 3 days, consecutive days, then that's considered a plague. If less than 3,000, it's not a plague, you don't fast. You don't fast. It has to be a plague. A plague means people, it's a lot of people, right?
So we learned from this that the corona wasn't a plague.
No, for sure it was. In New York, for sure it was. In the beginning?
I think that in the beginning, 300 people.
For sure, more. Much more.
Even more.
Much more.
All America.
Much more died. In the beginning, it goes by the city.
Million people died altogether.
So it's
Out of 300 million,
it's more.
nothing.
It needs to no, it's a lot, and it needs to be in 3 days. It cannot be over 10 weeks that they die. It needs to be in 3 consecutive days. Yeah. But I think in some cities in the beginning that's what happened. In some communities. It was a plague. זה אחר זה, שכל יום מת אחד, הרי זה דבר. You need to have some people die each and every day. ששנינו לעיל שאותה עיר מתנה ומטרת עליו. פחות מכאן, if it's less than that percentage that we discussed, less than 3 in 500, right? שיצאו ממנו 2 מתים ב3 ימים, that 2 people died in 3 days, או 3 מתים ב2 ימים, or 3 people die in 2 days, אין זה דבר אלא מקרה בלבד. Interesting enough. Even if it's more, even then it's not. It's something else. No, you need 3 consecutive days. Yeah. You need 3 consecutive days. If all people died in 2 days, even the right amount of people, and in the 3rd day nobody died, it's not considered a devil. They died for a different reason. Maybe they were poisoned, maybe something else, but it's not a plague. Okay.